Now is the time in your positions that are long in some nature, whether it's holding altcoins, which are naturally long positions, or futures positions, whatever you got going on. Now's the time to start setting your exact targets for selling, putting in your limit sells, getting them ready to go. And in this video, I'm going to show you why. Welcome back to the Cosas Verdes crypto and altcoin trading show, where I teach everybody who watches how to learn how to do this stuff by doing, and helping you get more confident when you click around with your money, because watching project fundamentals and news-based types of crypto YouTube videos will help you understand projects, but not what you're doing when you're actually putting it into practice, clicking with your money. And I help you become convert yourself from a buyer and prayer who wishes things go up forever and also watches them all come down, and converts you into a profit pimp. That's the goal of this channel. So if that sounds good, everybody stop, drop, and even if you're new, do what the sign says. If it actually turns on, hit like for me and leave me a quick comment down below, even if it's just an emoji thumbs up, whatever the case, to help out the algo for me so I can continue making videos for you, keep you in the know on Bitcoin. So let's dive into Bitcoin. Bitcoin did get a small little baby correction, a slowdown, but it did not hit the target that I expected. So I said, hey, I think that Bitcoin will actually just hit the 12-hour, in my last video, 12-hour 10 EMA. Even though it technically did here, I was expecting it to hit it on this one. So I guess technically it did hit it, but not in the form I did. So whatever. And I very specifically in that video mentioned, I don't think that Bitcoin needs a full-on correction yet. It needs a small little small slowdown, and then I think it's going to bust through and we're going to get a short squeeze. That looks to be what's happening. I guess with my exact downside target, how off was I? I guess 1% off. So I guess it wasn't that bad of a analysis in that video. Now, what I did analyze in that video is that alts, though, would take a pretty nice beating, and a lot of them did. So, for example, let's just go to Phantom in that 12-hour time. Phantom from this 12-hour, from this 12-hour candle down to this one. If I can zoom in, I mean, they took some pretty big dives there just with Bitcoin's hesitation. So 15%, 10%. Downside to altcoins. That's what I was anticipating for yesterday with Bitcoin slowdown. And, altcoins bled pretty hard, just as hard as I was thinking, if not slightly harder. And while Bitcoin didn't go down as far as I anticipated before some form of short squeeze, which I think is shaping up right now. So what is going to be happening in Bitcoin? Well, here is the main idea that I have with my, my crypto right now. Yes, it is good to be in positions already. Now, would I start entering positions today if I were sitting on Tether? No, probably not. But things will probably follow Bitcoin at some point very soon, if not starting today, which it looks like they're doing. I mean, VeChain having a nice day up, Litecoin having a nice day up, Bitcoin Cash having a nice day. I mean, 5% days are not very small. That's a big price movement in a day, right? Solana having almost a 7% day up. So it's good if you're in these positions already, but I would not chase this green dragon here. So if I had Tether and I were looking at altcoins, I don't know from a buy and hold standpoint, this is a good investment, to hold for 3 months. I don't think right now is the time to do that. And specifically, so that's not futures trading. Futures trading mean in and out in a day. Okay, well, actually, I'm in a few trades right now, and they're actually going pretty well. Trying to, chase this dragon on a daily in and out basis. But if you're looking for entries to buy your favorite altcoin or whatever, I would strongly have the strong personal opinion for my own Pokemon cards, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving financial advice. I would wait till Bitcoin, finishes screaming, comes back down and consolidates somewhere. That is when you want to deploy your Tether and get in those longer positions for the rest of the bull run for your altcoins. Now, if you were, for example, to use Tether today to get some altcoins that you think might pop and break horizontal, let's say you already had $500 in something, just pick an altcoin, pick Trias or Veracity or whatever, right? If you already had this money in here, okay, great. And if you're sitting on, let's say, $200 and you decided to enter today because you think it's going to pop, okay. But you have to maintain that mentality with that $200. And this is stuff I go over for higher tiers for very specific trades with exact levels, by the way. So if you want to check out my Patreon Discord community, this is the sort of stuff, but I go way more specific on very specific coins, very specific plays. Anyway, so if you wanted to get more trias or more veracity, you have to have the mentality of that extra $200 buy, the recent one, like today or whenever. You need to look to sell that portion of it quickly to then buy back then lower when Bitcoin is consolidating somewhere. Right? So if you were to enter and like a dollar cost average into a coin, whatever portion that you use in this upcoming day or today or whenever you do this, your mindset behind it has to be this portion I will sell quickly after a pop. I'll take my profits and look to buy back lower, and I'll wait until Bitcoin probably hits the daily 10 EMA at minimum. If not the 21 EMA. That is the mentality that I would have. So how far will Bitcoin go? I don't really know. Honestly, I told my VIP live chat yesterday on Thursday the 14th. I let them know that I specifically do not think Bitcoin will hit the daily 21 until potentially after 70K. I think we're going to have some type of short squeeze that goes farther than what people are thinking, and then I think we're going to consolidate potentially at all-time highs in this box or way up here at 64K, something to that effect. I think we'll make a much higher low and consolidate. But I think first, though, I think it's a strong possibility that this is going to race up higher, much higher than what most people think. And I believe people have already been taking shorts at the 60K level, which if you go to the week is a weekly horizontal. So people trying to short these tops of these weekly candles here are getting squeezed like hell right now. Smart people, they would be out of it already. They would have already been stopped out, but exchanges make a lot of money from people not knowing how to do that, right? On leverage plays. And I think that carnage to the upside is going to continue after Bitcoin passes this all-time high. That would be my first guess. That would be my first like midterm, 3 week out guess type of deal. So I would, from a weekly candle standpoint, I honestly wouldn't guess that, thinking not like a whale, but thinking like the charts. I would say that this week might go as high as test all-time highs, come back and close kind of normally just over 60K. Not normally, but less aggressively. That's on Sunday, so that's in 2 days. So this weekend could get hot, squeeze those shorts, come back down, have a strong closure above 60. The next week thereafter then backfills like maybe a quarter to a half of this candle and then turns green and then busts through all-time highs confidently. And then maybe some sort of consolidation. So from a strict charting perspective without short squeezes and thinking like a whale, that is what I'm seeing. Now, also what I could see is that Bitcoin immediately, like today or something, starts calming down, closes a candle below 60K by Sunday, so weekly candle. So this is my second most probable scenario that I would, from a charting non-whale, thinking like a whale perspective. So I guess the third scenario, really, because the first scenario is the whale perspective, short squeeze. Second scenario, I just told you, and here's the third scenario. Third scenario is Bitcoin calms down almost immediately, if not starts calming down today, and tinkers around with 60K, but closes. So on a 1 hour chart, it would look like a bunch of this, right? Like not going down, but the timing of one of these dips, like on a 1 hour chart, would align with New York time Sunday at 8 p.m., this Sunday at 8 p.m., which is the weekly candle closure, and then the week will close below here. If that were to happen, if the week were to close and the new week begins below 60K, I would expect a red doji candle for that week, and then either blast off or another small green candle for the last week of October to close above 60K. And then on November 1st, which starts is a Monday or Sunday night for New York, then the first week of November is super bullish. So those would be my three scenarios. So just to repeat, but it's on the weekly standpoint, right? So I'm telling you on the weekly. So this goes 3.5 weeks out, 3.25 weeks out, because there are a quarter week left in this week, right? On this candle here. So I think short squeeze up. And then if that short squeeze happens, that honestly could be 70 something K next week, and then form like a gravestone candle, come back down, consolidate here for the month of November, and then really start taking off. That would be, so short squeeze would be my number one scenario. And in the short squeeze, it really might not even come back down all the way. That short squeeze come up here, close here, just a couple of red small weeks here, and then blast off for a good November, closing closer to like 85K or something, even 90K. Like this could get hot really fast. So that would be my, within situation number one, short squeeze. Those are the two things I'm thinking. Not thinking of a short squeeze and not trying to incorporate exchanges, finagling, and big money and all that kind of stuff from a charting perspective. Let me go down to like the 4-hour chart with no EMAs here. And let me mark off the weeks. So let's see here. 19th. So that would be 1 week. Roughly 25th here, November 1st here. So let me make these thinner. All right, so within those 3 weeks, and these are the candle openings, candle closings, right? From a non-whale perspective, I could see a retest of highs, come back down, consolidate, come up, consolidate under all-time highs, bust out, something to that effect. So it's really important to make your, when you make an analysis and you have a weekly closure coming up, after that week closes, it's always good to go back and say, okay, what is my new analysis? How can I tweak my analysis? So a lot of this is going to rely on these lines when the candle closes, where price is chaotically within there, right? So the second thing that I'm thinking might happen is maybe come up a little bit more, test rehighs or not, that doesn't matter, but not break all-time highs, come back down, and before this happens here, closes just below 60K. And if that happens, that would be the doji week. So the doji week might start off hot, come up here, come down, close here, something to that effect, and that would be another week. So this is a 4-hour chart, within weekly time frame. All that might happen, just like up, down, sideways, but it's not much happening for an entire week. If this week closes below 60K, and then if this week does close below 60K, I would assume a doji candle. The next candle after that will either really take off or will just be a small green candle that ultimately closes the week. So something like this, closes right there on top of 60. And then you get hot. So those are the things I'm thinking about with Bitcoin in the the midterm time frame throughout the next few weeks. So how Ethereum and Cardano are going to react in general terms, I don't think there's going to be a strong reaction for altcoins until Bitcoin finally closes that weekly candle above this line. So this week is a big deal. So Sunday, American time, New York. 8 p.m. on Sunday is a big deal at 8 p.m. If Bitcoin is at 60K or above or below 60K, it's going to be a big deal because it's going to change the avenue of what the hell is going to happen with especially altcoins. A closure above is going to be very good for altcoins. And if you get a closure above, I would suspect a backfill down at the beginning of the week, and then that week closes really high. And once that backfill happens, that would be a hell of a snag for some longs and getting into your positions if you see that happen. If this week closes above 60K, you see a backfill down, let's say to 57 or something, boom, because this week closes above 60, you can be confident that candle will flip green. Then you have a strong statistical edge of that happening because it's the highest weekly candle closing ever. The chance that the next week closes red is pretty low. So if you see it red for like Monday, Tuesday, that would be that would give you a statistical edge to jump into alts because the week is probably going to not only flip green but go up pretty high. So definitely keep that in mind. This weekly and so Berlin time, it's 2 a.m. in the morning on Monday. So or early Monday, if you wake up and you saw, so over in Europe, I guess that'd be 1 a.m. London time. If you wake up on Monday, you saw that the candle closure happens above 60K. Then what I would personally be looking for is to be entering alts if Bitcoin tests back down closer to 58K, that would probably be like some type of ultimate low before Bitcoin really starts screaming up. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff. So therefore, I'm not going to go over Ethereum too much and Cardano right now because I think that they might just kind of dilly-dally along. So you can see that Ethereum is only up 1.7% for the day. Bitcoin is up 7% for the day. So these are being laggards behind Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a nice green candle and a big green candle, while Ethereum's got a small green candle. Cardano's got a small green candle, even though Cardano looks like it's ready to blast off. But this blast off on Cardano, for example, is going to depend on Bitcoin's weekly closure above 60K or not. So I think alts will just underperform versus Bitcoin bare minimum until that weekly closure. And if the week closes below 60K, that also could set up altcoins to do okay that week, but I don't think they would really scream. So, but they might gain versus Bitcoin a little bit. So it's going to be exciting to see how this goes. Definitely, set your alarms, put on your calendar, whatever you got to do. You want to be looking at how the week closes. It's particular to the idea that in your crypto portfolio, you might have more altcoins, especially if you're watching my channel. So that's what we got for you. If you like here today and you're not part of the community, come check us out. We are rocking and rolling. I am trying to do a lot more activities, particular to the upper two tiers, to learn by doing, really stepping through exactly how I get into trades, how I sell. If you want to see actually an example here. I erased it. Son of a bitch. Or did I erase it? No, I didn't. Here we go. I'm on a too big of a chart. But anyway, I provide exact levels. I even write the numbers in there and everything. When I took my trade, I make an alert. Hey, here's why I'm taking this trade. And you can see it's going very well. I only had to wait a couple, so I entered on this candle here. I only had to wait a couple hours for it to really start taking off. My sell orders and all the reasons why. I walk people through it. Actually, let me just pull up. Let me show you an example here, because it's already too late to enter this trade, right? So I'm not spoiling anything. But anyway, I created a trade alert, and the video here is the VIPs only trade setup. So trying to hit Luna, then hit FTM back to back, because and this is Luna right here. It was getting and this is a follow-up after I did that video showing, hey, it is taking off. This is where you'd want to sell it. So after the trade got in profit, then I gave let them know, hey, specifically this is how I'd sell it. Top 4 limit sells for 1/20th a piece of my total order, then 8 more for 1/10 a piece, stuff like that, where and why. This is the 100, 200, or the 1 hour 200 EMA coming up. So I give very specific things, and within this video, I show, hey, Luna's going to pop first, and then after it pops, you're going to be able to get fandom, things to that effect. So if you want to practice by doing, and this is all today, you can see the today at 2:33 p.m. So I did the trade step at 2:33. So if you want to go over to Luna was on this candle right here, and it was just getting ready to, actually no, it was on this candle. This candle had just started, and that's when I did that trade setup, because you do have a nice cross here. So we were playing this bullish cross 10 coming above and expecting it to hit the 200 EMA. So if that's the type of stuff you want to do, so you can learn by doing with exact signals, exact targets and everything, go ahead and check out the community, and I give more examples within the links below on Patreon if you want to check that out. But other than that, before we get out of here, hit like if you haven't already, leave me a quick comment, and we'll see y'all next time.